Today I'm going to show you how to make a rubber band stamp. The supplies you will need are rubber bands, glue stick, scissors, pencil, cardboard cut to size, Crayola markers or an ink pad if you have one, paper to stamp on, and something to protect your workspace. I'm using this piece of paper to protect my table. Next, you need to decide on your design. You can draw your design on the cardboard or you can just work free form. Choose a design with simple lines and shapes. Here's some examples I have here. Remember, when you stamp, it'll be mirror image. So if you're doing a word or letters, you're going to have to do them backwards. Here's an example I made. I just put name on here just to give you an example. You could write your own name on here or make your own name. And a way to check it, if you want to check your design, is you can hold it up to a mirror and you can look and make sure that it looks correct. When you have your design, I'm going to take your cardboard and I'm going to draw my design on here. I'm going to do a question mark. So I'm going to draw that on the cardboard. And remember, I'm doing this in mirror image. Next, I'm going to put my glue down on my cardboard, and you want to make sure to coat your cardboard over the design area until the glue is pretty thick and sticky on there, because you want it to be able to hold the rubber bands in place once it dries. Now, it's important when you choose your rubber bands that the rubber bands are at the same height on your cardboard when you glue it down. If you have rubber bands at different heights, the ones that are shorter aren't going to print. Another thing you want to make sure to do is not to overlap your rubber bands. If you overlap your rubber bands, again, you'll have rubber bands at different heights, and the ones at the shorter height will not print. And if you're going to do a more complex design where you're bending the rubber bands to get curved shapes, you may need to hold the rubber band down in place for a little while until the glue dries to keep it in the shape that you want. So I've been talking here, and now my glue has gotten a little dry, so I'm going to add a little more glue to my cardboard. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to choose this rubber band to use here. I'm going to lay it down on the shape that I drew so I can find the right length. I'm going to give it a little snip here. So I'm going to pull this up and give it a little snip. It's also important that your rubber band's not twisted at all. So it's just one nice flat smooth surface that I'll be able to print with. And I need a little piece for the dot here. So this is what I've made, and I can kind of see that there's some of the areas aren't lined up very well. So I'm going to use my pencil. I want this to be maybe a little straighter. So I can use my pencil to kind of move the rubber band around on the wet glue to try to get it in the shape that I want. Or if it was a more curvy shape, I might have to hold it in place until it dries. I'm making sure that the rubber band is pressed firmly into the glue. So this dot is moved to the side. So I'm going to take my pencil and gently move it over and kind of press it in to make sure that it's where I want it to be. Great. So now this needs to dry before I can print with it. So I'm going to set it aside and I'll show you some examples. So once it's fully dried, you can take either your stamp pad or your marker and color on the rubber bands. You want to kind of ink it up. It's important to use a marker that is more fresh. If it's dried up, you're not going to get enough ink on your printing surface. You can do one color or you can do different colors. I'm going to do some different colors to show you what that looks like. Make sure you want to press everywhere that the design is on the other side. Looks like that. I'll show you what it looks like to stamp with this stamp pad too. You can stamp my hedgehog here. You can use, so my fingers got a little inked up and a little dirty, and I made some smudges on my paper. So that's something you want to be careful not to do. But there's my little hedgehog. And so you can get as creative with this as you like. You can make cards or pictures. Here's a little something that I made with my smiley face and my hedgehog. And it's a little joke. It says, "When does a hedgehog go moo? Moo. When it's learning a new language. Ha ha ha." So you can, I hope you have fun with this, and I'd love to see what you create. Thanks.